My name is Tawawn Lowe. I'm excited to be here, and we're here for a very good reason. We have two phenomenal women who have put this event together, and they are super excited about what they're getting ready to do with their business. So I'm just excited for them. I think it's just really special that these two ladies are launching their own business, but they want to motivate you while they are launching their business. So I think that is good. So I just want to now take my time and introduce to you all these two phenomenal women. How many of y'all know Benita Parker? She has come together with Kim. Do you all know Kim? Yeah, so these two ladies have decided to take their gifts and talents and to merge them together to have one phenomenal company. So let's talk about you taking some organizational skills. We're talking about an excellent decorator, and they have come together and blended. So these women have some phenomenal talents, and they're doing some phenomenal things. I kind of want women to be motivated. It's also about encouraging other women to use their gifts and talents. It's about having them to just say, you know what, I want more for myself, I want more for my life, and if they can be an example of doing it, every woman and man in this room can do it as well. I think I'm gonna entitle my talk, Don't Sit on Your Talent, Work It. Are you sitting on your talent? And it's a question, I'm throwing it out. Are y'all sitting on your talent? I see some yeses over here, some yeses here. And we can be honest, I mean, you know. If you be honest, I have a gift for you later. So some say we are sitting on our talent. But why are you sitting on your talent? Why aren't you working it? It was a gift given to you the moment you were born. Do everybody even know what their gifts and talents are? Only ladies. Y'all can say yes, no. You know what your gift and talent is? What is your gift and talent, man?
I am like a counselor type of person that gives more like counseling type of thing.
So you're good at giving people advice. So if I came over there in the corner and told you my husband left me this morning, you can help me?
Yes.
All right, love it. So what you doing with it? Are you working it or sitting on it?
I am sitting on it, but I'm doing it in the next year.
Okay.
Family says that.
Very good. Very, very good. Congratulations. Let's give her applause, y'all. Anybody else willing to share what their gift and talent is?
I'll share.
Come on, share. Come on.
Okay, well, I think I'm an excellent writer. I think I know I am. And I also am, you know, good at fashion and all that stuff, you know.
Oh, you look real cute.
Thank you, I do what I can.
I'm honest.
Yeah, I'm sitting on the writing, and I used to, you know, model and be all in the fashion world, and then I came a little bit away and all that stuff.
What they got to do with anything?
I know, you know, I mean, just in the part of it that I was trying to be in, it's a mess, but I'd rather be the writer. I'd rather, you know, have the brains in the music, so.
Well, I think you should
But
have
I
them
still
both.
love fashion.
You should have both. Brains
I'm
and-
here, yeah.
Okay. So you're sitting on.
I'm sitting on everything, everything.
That's a good thing, to some degree. So why are you sitting on it?
Because I just am so unmotivated sometimes, it's ridiculous. And, you know, I just get complacent really easily, and I get bored easily. And this is my cousin, I get my writing from her. She is so smart, and she's an event planner, and she invited me here. Don't be shy.
Look at y'all, we all family, don't be shy. If nobody can give a right, wrong, or indifferent answer. But the reason that I'm asking this question, because where would we be if we just all sat on our talent? Think about that question. Where would we be? Could you drive a car? Could you even wash? Because somebody had to bring running water into the house. See, we're lucky we don't go to an outhouse, we don't do these things. But when you think about it, if everybody sat on their gifts and talents, where would we be? It is very important that you get in touch with who you really are and know what your gifts and talents are, and that you use it. Because when it was given to you, it was given to you to craft. That's the first thing. You have to craft it. Once you figure out what your gift and talent is, you're supposed to craft it. You're supposed to become such an expert in this thing that what you have, you can then give back to the world, and the world can use what you have. Because trust me, we need everybody gifts and talent. You say you're a writer. I'm an author. I hate writing. But I'm an author.
Right.
So if I can get a ghostwriter and I can tell them my story, would that not make you some money? Come on, not even a poet. But I mean, like, I'm understanding where I'm coming from and when I'm talking about how it is so important for us not to just sit on what God gave us. And I'm going to say God because that's what I believe in. And I believe it's a gift that He gave me at birth. And one of the reasons that I'm so passionate about working with women and having them use their gift is because I sat on mine too long. Now, I know I look 21, but I'm 40-ish. And it took me almost my whole adult life to come to the realization that I really do have a purpose and that God gave me something to use. And ever since I decided to become responsible, 100% responsible for my life and use what was given to me, it's been on fire. Because see, once you're willing to use what's given to you, God will open up the doors and He will make a way. That's why I'm on this stage today, because for real, I'm using what was given to me. And you have to find out what do you have, because when you don't use what God has given you, truthfully, you just slowly die. Because your purpose is wrapped up into your gifts and talents. Believe it or not, you could be writing a play for Tyler Perry and give it to him. Not that he probably wants you to write one for him, but you could. He might finance it. You just never know what's going to happen with your gifts and talents. There is so much talent in this room. We have Lisa Dove Washington, or Lisa Dove with Dove Magazine. Lisa, raise your hand. She has an online magazine with over, I think, 10,000 viewers on this magazine. You need to sign up.
20.
And get 20. Oh my God, I'm sorry. With over 20,000. I want to be your friend. With over 20,000 viewers on this magazine. So that means she's writing, she's putting things together, she's interviewing people, she's using her gifts and talents. Then she's sitting next to the One Sexy Wife. This is Gail Crowder, who has Bringing Sexy Back to the Marriage. So if you are married, and if you want to stay married like she is for 25 years, she has a conference. And I've gone, but I'm not married, because I told you he left me this morning, right? So, go to the conference. I mean, it's a really good conference. They use spiritual principles. They teach you a little pole dance thing. I mean, if you're married, they got it going on. Might want to see her. And then we have Women Elevation Magazine, Delisha. She is using her gifts and talents. So just look in the room and we're just talking about 3 women right here who are doing what they're supposed to do with their gifts and talents. And what I want to do is encourage you ladies. When you leave here today, I'm sorry ladies, I had my back to you all the whole time. Please accept my apology. But I want to encourage you ladies, when you leave, think about what your gifts and talents are. If you really don't know what your gifts and talents are, go find out. I'm willing to help you because I am a coach. That's what I do, but I'm not here selling my business. What I want you to do is walk away empowered. I want you to walk away and say, you know what, she gave me a lot to think about. Why won't I use my gifts and talents? Because I'm here to tell you, I'm thankful for the person who came up with Tylenol. Don't mean to offend on the men, Midol, Ambien. I'm even happy with the person that came up with Jack Daniels. I am a shoe person. She told you I am the founder of Women Walking in Their Own Shoes. I'm a little Imelda Marcos. I probably have over 150 pairs of shoes. I love shoes. Just met a gentleman coming in the door to say he got a shoe business. Me and him will talk when I get off this stage and see how we can come together and partner. But see, this is using my gifts and talents. I'm just saying, everything that we do, everything that comes to us, is nothing we can do without somebody else's gifts and talents, period, point blank. If you think it's something that you can do without somebody's gifts and talents, then you're sadly mistaken. When you go to the doctor, that's the doctor using his gift. When you go to a lawyer, you want to make sure when you go in the courtroom, he knows everything, all his knowledge. Matter of fact, you want to make sure that your lawyer is passionate about what you do, because he won't see you as a check, but he will see you as somebody who's going to represent and represent you well. So I just want you to think about when you leave, when you go home, and when you just start thinking about what you want for your life. Because I want y'all to know that I went somewhere, and the lady started talking about what she said to her 90-year-old self. I was like, wow. So I went home and I had a conversation with my 90-year-old self. And I had my 90-year-old self talk to my 40-year-old self. And my 90-year-old self told me what legacy I left when I died. And I'm asking you, what legacy are you willing to leave for your children, for your family, for your community, for this world? Because let me tell you, women are doing phenomenal things. It's not just a man's world anymore. Women are stepping up to the plate. They are seeing their innate power to create, and they are using it. That means every woman in here has something to give and something to offer. Last week, Forbes came out with the 100 most influential women in the world. Guess what? My 90-year-old self said, you need to work it, boo, so you can be on this list. It was just Oprah and Beyonce. I was a little pissed. I don't know about y'all, but I wanted to look like me too. Not personal, I have nothing against no other race or anything like that, but we all have some gifts and talents in here, and we ought to be sharing it, and we need to be giving it back to the world, and we ought to be making a difference. Now, I can't dance like Beyonce, but I'm sure I can sit down on the couch and have a talk show like Oprah. And if you think about where Oprah started from, everybody always think about when you use your gifts and talents, you want to come out here and you want to be big right from the beginning. It takes small beginnings. She started on the Baltimore News as an anchor woman. She wound up getting a show. She never thought she would own her own network. Look at her now. And even in her struggle in owning her own network, she owns her own network. She started from a victim of whatever came of her circumstances. She said, okay, I like talking. I'm gonna go on the news. I'm gonna do this. She liked that, and she said, you know what? Because once you start using your talents, guess what God does? He expands. It don't just stay there, it expands. I just started off as a coach. I wanted to have a conference. He kept saying walking in their own shoes. I was like, walking in their own shoes, what do that mean? Okay, I like shoes. I can walk in mine. I didn't get it. And one day he said, start a movement. That's much responsibility, I don't want to do that. But I started the movement. And is it hard? Yes, it is. But am I going to do everything to make sure that I do what I'm supposed to do to encourage every woman who is not walking in her own shoes? Yes, I will. That is my goal. That's part of my mission, to share my talent and to share my gifts with them. And if my coaching would help one woman decide that she's going to walk on her own shoes and do her own thing, I have accomplished my goal. But when I started here in just coaching. And I started coaching because I want to help women, because my husband did leave me. And my life went into transition. And I had to reinvent myself. And in reinventing myself, I decided that I was going to do me. And that meant use my gifts and talents. Some of y'all need to be a brand new you. You need to reinvent yourself. The man ain't got to leave, he can come. He ain't got to go, he can stay. But you might want to do something different for the next chapter of your life. All I'm saying is think about use your gifts and talents. Think about this when you go home. What would you say to your 90-year-old self? What legacy are you leaving for your family? What are you doing to change your community? What are you doing for this world here abroad? Are you sitting on your gifts and talents, or are you working it? Remember, every day that you go home, when you go home, you can't do nothing without somebody else's talents. When you flip on the light, you better be real glad that person didn't give up and said after the first attempt, oh, it didn't work. They did it. Ladies and gentlemen, I want to thank you for this time. I ask that when you go home again, just give some consideration to if you're using your gifts and talents, and if not, I just ask you to stop sitting on them and to work them. Thank you.